95.3.
From the mountaintop, the sound is loud and clear. It's Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ìkejì Ìjẹ̀ṣà.
News from around the world. Vicinity FM 95.3.
This is Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ìkejì Ìjẹ̀ṣà. I am Pauleteng with Global News. First, the headlines. Trade Union Congress shut down Finance Ministry over unpaid allowances. South Africa's president visits U.S. to reset strained relations with Washington. A United Nations cut spending over worsening cash crisis. Down the news in full. Members of the Trade Union Congress, TUC, on Tuesday staged protests at the Federal Ministry of Finance in Abuja, shutting down operations by locking the main entrance and blocking vehicles access to the premises. Members of the union dressed in red t-shirts, they aggrieved voiced their discontent over unpaid allowances and outstanding salary and declined to speak directly to the newsmen. The demonstration brought official activities at the ministry to a standstill and attracted the attention of civil servants, visitors, and passers-by. Nigeria Medical Association has urged the government and employers of medical personnel to prioritize the welfare of medical doctors to address the recurring issue of Japa syndrome in the country. The president of the association, Professor Bala Audu, stated this in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. This during the grand reception organized by the association in the state in honor of the newly appointed commissioners held at the Doctors' Mass. Audu said the only way to retrain medical doctors is for the government at all levels to prioritize their welfare in the country. He lauded the health workforce retention policy of Governor Umo Enu, aimed at prioritizing the welfare of medical personnel in the states. The chairman and CEO of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, Abike Dabiri Erewa, congratulated 4 Nigerian nationals for making historic political breakthroughs in the United Kingdom. In a statement issued by Gabriel Odu of NIDCOM's Media and Public Relations Unit, Dabiri Arewa hailed the electoral victories of Dr. Adekunle Osigbogun, Princess Opeyemi Bright, Councillor Jason Otitofon Jackson, and Councillor Sonny Lambe across various UK boroughs. Princess Bright made history as the youngest ever mayor of Barking and Dagenham, and Councillor Jackson became the first mayor of Islington. Describing their wins as record-breaking milestone, Dabiri commended their resilience, leadership, and unwavering dedication to public service. She emphasized that their achievements not only bring pride to Nigeria and serve as a beacon of hope for young Africans in the diaspora. Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan has warned Kenyan activists not to interfere in Tanzania's affairs following the deportation of prominent Kenyan rights figures who tried to attend the court case of opposition leader Tundu Lissu. Lissu, head of the Chadema party, charged with treason and accused of spreading false information after calling for electoral reforms. His trial has drawn significant local and international attention, with critics accusing the government of cracking down on dissent ahead of October's election. Though initially praised for opening political space, President Samia is now facing growing scrutiny over authoritarian tactics. Human rights groups have urged the government to uphold democratic principles and end political repression. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa arrived in the United States ahead of a Wednesday meeting with President Donald Trump. His state visit is coming at a time the country strained relations with Washington. Since Trump returned to office, he terminated all financial aid to South Africa, expelled its ambassador, and alleged claim the South African government is conducting a genocide against white Afrikaners. Recall last week the U.S. welcomed refugees 59 white South Africans who claim they were persecuted in their home country. Ramaphosa is hoping to reset and revitalize bilateral relations with U.S., particularly with regards to trade, bilateral, regional, and global issues of interest. The United Nations has announced it's been forced to cut spending, freezing hiring, and scale back some service as the global organization faces worsening cash crisis. The General Assembly Fifth Committee held a meeting to discuss the UN's financial health, with a growing shortfall in contributions by member states, owing $2.4 billion in unpaid regular budget dues and $2.7 billion in peacekeeping. Member states have urged to pay up as the deepening financial crisis threatens the world body's ability to carry out vital work. Officials warn that the non-payment of contributions risk eroding the UN's credibility and its capacity to fulfill mandates entrusted to it by member states. This is Vicinity 95.3 FM, Kejile Ijesha. Global news will continue shortly. For news updates and live streaming, visit our website at vicinity953fm.com.ng. Send us an email to vicinitynewsroom@gmail.com or call 0814-365-8302 for breaking news. You can also follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Vicinity 95.3 FM. Now the rest of the news. The United Kingdom, France, and Canada have issued a joint warning to Israel, threatening to take concrete action if it continues to intensify military operations in Gaza. A joint statement, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, French President Emmanuel Macron, and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney called on Israel to stop its military operations and allow humanitarian aid to enter Gaza. The leaders described the humanitarian situation as intolerable, pointing to a complete blockade that has prevented food, fuel, and medicine from entering the region since March. Reacting to the criticism, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accused the Western leaders of rewarding Hamas by pushing for an end to the war before the militant group is defeated. Lebanon's new president Joseph Aoun paid a visit to Cairo to strengthen ties with the Arab world and discuss regional tension. In a joint press conference, Aoun and Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi called for an immediate end to Israel's strike on Lebanon and urged full implementation of UN Resolution 1701, which includes the disarmament of armed groups like Hezbollah. The visit comes amid ongoing Israeli attacks targeting Hezbollah. Aoun emphasized Lebanon's commitments to peace and rebuilding regional relationships strained by Hezbollah's influence. He also expressed interest in working with Syria's new leadership and called for the safe return of over 1 million Syrian refugees in Lebanon. Aoun's trip is part of a broader diplomatic effort to reset Lebanon's role in the Arab world and address its ongoing political and economic challenges. challenges. U.S. President Donald Trump has again shifted his position on the ongoing Ukraine war, raising concerns about America's role in future peace efforts after he claimed he could end the war in 24 hours. Trump now says a peace deal must be negotiated directly between Russia and Ukraine, possibly with help from the Pope. This comes after Trump's recent phone conversation with Russian President Vladimir Putin, mentioning a possible future agreement. Trump remains publicly optimistic but hinted he may withdraw from the process if talks stall. His remarks, along with similar signals from Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, have alarmed Kyiv and U.S. allies. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky urged the U.S. to stay involved, warning that any withdrawal or support could tip the balance in Russia's favor. The path to peace remains uncertain as U.S. policy appears increasingly unpredictable. And a bit of sports, Leicester City have been referred to an independent commission by the Premier League for allegedly breaching financial rules during their 2023-2024 championship season. While a tribunal ruled that the club cannot be punished for breaches in the 2022-2023 season due to their relegation, it confirmed the Premier League can investigate conduct in the championship. Leicester are also accused of missing a financial reporting deadline and not fully cooperating with league inquiries. The club said it will cooperate. The case may influence how financial rules are enforced for clubs switching divisions. To end global news, another look at the headlines. Members of the Trade Union Congress, TUC, on Tuesday staged protests at the Federal Ministry of Finance in Abuja, shutting down operations by locking the main entrance and blocking vehicles' access to the premises. We told you that South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa arrived in the United States ahead of a Wednesday meeting with President Donald Trump. His state's visit is coming at the time the country strained relations with Washington. And lastly, you heard United Nations has announced it's been forced to cut spending, freezing hiring and scale back some services as the global organization faces worsening cash crisis. That was Global News. It was edited by Oluwafunke Israel. On behalf of the production crew, I am Paulette Eng. Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for News Nationwide at 6 o'clock. Good afternoon.